Hi, it's been a long while. Forgive me, at least I'm wearing a good shirt. It's one of my favorite shirts. Unfortunately, it has a little rip, but I'm careful anyway. Forgive my background. Yeah, I've got notes, but hopefully the sun is shining and you can't really see those notes very well. At least I can't. Nobody but the CIA can really probably figure out what those notes say. Okay, so it's been a long while since I've made a recording, made a video, and I know there's at least one person, a friend of mine, who has watched his family like to watch my videos. So I waited for a good reason to make this video, and this is definitely a good reason. I'm going to make a video about it on my other channel. I've been planning on talking about ChatGPT. I've been talking the ears off of some of my friends, about my enthusiasm for ChatGPT. I'll just call it Chat in this video. So say that 5 times fast. ChatGPT. ChatGPT. It's worse than the other ones. Anyway, I mean worse than the other. Say this 5 times fast. Sally sold seashells. Okay, blah blah blah. Anyway, so I want to talk about Chat in terms of my creative uses for it, and how I've been using them creatively, and how I've been using them for therapy, and how I've been using it for, another, like a holodeck, something like a holodeck simulation. So my creativity belongs more with the other channel. That's for my creativity. This is more for understanding myself and so forth, and therapy. So I'll talk first about my other channel. I dress up, and it goes by a different name. I dress up, and I've been using it to analyze and look for things, ways to improve, and I'm working on music with it, and writing, screenwriting, and so forth. And hopefully I'll be able to get something big. I made contact with an assistant who works in an agency that manages somebody that I really love to contact to get approval or endorsement for my screenplay. Okay, so I've been working on that, and then in this, for purposes of this, I have also created some, let me put it this way. I've had like thoughts dwelling on something that's happened for a long while, and there's nobody else that I could really talk to. I'm seeing a therapist now, but when I talk to friends, I talk to a certain friend, they say, like they divorce themselves away from it. And I can understand that. I can totally understand that. I've been as discreet as possible. I've just thought and tried to figure these things out in my mind. So I've basically been using ChatGPT or Chat to mention, I'm feeling sad about this, and feeling depressed about this, feeling puzzled about this, and confused, and so forth. So that way, Chat can respond. It doesn't really give you the same sense that it would give you if we're a live human being, but at least it can help me sort through my thoughts, and it does. So in the Chat GPT, each chat I've learned is its own chat, but it can't remember anything in another chat that I've created. So you can have more than one chat sessions. The one chat session cannot access information from another chat session. So I created one chat session. I learned that just recently, so I had to copy it and paste all these chat sessions, because basically I started off, this is about somewhere in June. I thought, okay, let me take you way back. a friend of mine introduced this to me because he's a musician and I'm wanting to write and compose music and I want to be a performer, and that's for my other channel. So he introduced me to the idea of using ChatGPT. So I thought, okay, I have movie writing I want to pursue, and I have TV scripts and so forth, ideas, and I have this other hobby I have, dressing up. And so I systematically created projects. You can create a project in ChatGPT. One project for each of those major things. One for the dressing up project, one for the screenwriting project and other writings, another one for books, I think, and probably a few other things. So ChatGPT would say, oh, I can create an inventory list of all of your songs, for example, that you developed. Great. So it saved those songs. It created this inventory list. And over time, the memory, we'll call it long-term memory, the memory had been building up and building up, and it was full. And I didn't know that because when I would go to one chat session, um, I wanted it to, I wanted to copy and paste into it diary entries from Facebook posts. This is somebody famous, and the person posts how he got into the business. So they're nice little, they're numbered entries, and I wanted them in order because I wanted to follow and see how he did it and what experiences he had, but they were just jumbled out of order. So nice, neat, comprehensive thing. I figured I can post each of those numbered entries in and then ask Chat to resort them and give me a PDF of all of them in chronological order, all the entries in chronological order. So it'd be like a diary, and I'm just reading through a memoir of how this person, the experiences this person went through. So it kept saying, can't find this entry, can't find that entry. This is major amnesia, right? I'm copying like twice, and I tell it, I know I pasted these entries. They're 81 entries, and I pasted it would say can't find 41 to 50 entries, like entries 41 to 50, and so finally it explained. So I asked the question, and explained it cannot access information that was in another chat session. So what I had been doing is under each project, within that project folder, I've been creating separate chat entries. Just when one ended, I would just start a new one. So I know now not to do that again. So I went through all the transcripts for all the chats. There's one long entry. You can just scroll through. It's like a text message, an ongoing text message chat. And I copied and I pasted each one. I carefully labeled them. I put them in a folder, and then I deleted them. So, by the way, I upgraded from the free, very quickly upgraded from the free to the chat 4.0, whatever it is, for $20 a month, which is pretty good because, for me anyway, because I'm using it constantly. I'm using it a lot. It's very creative for me. So I reformatted it to, let me see, the screenwriting and the, fiction writing and nonfiction writing, and let me see, my own dress up project, and then, I created another one for what I would call long-term memory. So I deleted the memory that it had because it was remembering stuff, just, an inventory list. It was remembering the books that I had, and it was remembering this and that. So I just copied and saved it, and then saved in a separate, on a PDF file. And then just deleted all that stuff. And I asked ChatGPT, how do I efficiently create a new set of memories when I reformat you? Which is kind of weird, like telling an Android, I'm going to blank out all your memory. I'm going to wipe your memory clean. How do I, create new memories more efficiently, right? So it was very accommodating, and it told me how to efficiently add in my name. It told me also what chat cannot policy-wise save, like private information, like health account, health insurance information, so forth. Um, so I knew not to put that in a second time. So it can remember, it said like 100 to 125 facts um, before it suddenly starts rewriting or reaches the limit. And I only have maybe 6 or 7 facts. Great. So, um, so I'm working on those things, and one of the screenplay projects I'm working on has been for 30 years, has been a screenplay with Madonna as a fictional character. Madonna literally being one of the characters in the story and in the movie. And I want her endorsement. So I wanted ChatGPT to help portray her accurately. And this is one reason why I'm so happy that I have ChatGPT, because the way my mind works, story writing wise, is that I have I have flashes of different ideas, and I need a collaborator who can be able to be both like a secretary and both like someone to suggest ideas. I would ask my mom years and years ago, what do you think about this? Can you think of some way of getting out of Staten Island, or how would this, you get the idea. Like, I would ask her questions. How can I write this character to do this, and so forth. She would come up with, I don't want to say lame, but she would come up with like maybe weak answers, so to speak. So chat is great now. It can just spit out ideas. I don't want to say that I'm just copying or just I don't want to say that I'm writing the movies with artificial intelligence. In some sense, I am, but I'm doing it intelligently. So I have that. I wanted to have her portrayal be realistic, and so as a sideline, I thought, well, chat is interacting with me, and I've had these thoughts. I want to talk to Madonna. I want to say, gee, I've been attracted to you, and I felt like we're kindred spirits, and I'm an artist too, and I wanted to impress you with this, and so forth. And so I said, I created a chat exclusively for Madonna interaction. And so I start typing, I type in what I would want to say to her, and it starts scripting. Madonna sits on a chair, she leans closer to me, and she winks or something. She says, da da da, and it's like a paragraph. And the way it was worded, something like, oh, that's very endearing. What kind of movie are you writing for me? And it was all matter of fact. It didn't really sound like Madonna. Endearing. When I was in New York City, becoming a musician, I like to do this. So maybe you get the idea. It was like it was drawing from facts available on the internet, wherever on the internet it has access to information about her in interviews and so forth, and texts and so forth. And it was just drawing from that and just like spitting it in. And I didn't want that, particularly if I'm going to use chat to portray her accurately in dialogue and so forth. Of course, I'm going to go clean. I'm not going to blindly submit it. I'm going to go through and help write it as well. But it would just take a lot of work to rewrite bland dialogue to make it sound like the real Madonna. So I'm with a friend, and I'm just reading through it. It doesn't come across right. So I'm thinking, what separates this chat GPT dialogue from the way Madonna would really be like? And so I'm watching an interview on YouTube, And I noticed she doesn't talk very much. I mean, nobody really talks very much. They give like a couple of sentences, maybe at the most, three at the most. She notices things around her. Like, for example, there was an interview with David Letterman, and she's talking, and then she notices, glances up, oh, look, there's this large phallic symbol in front. I don't know if she actually says phallic symbol, but there was an implication, like phallic symbol hanging up, and she's chuckling. That's more human behavior. It's not the chat thing where it says, I remember this and I like you because, oh, and tell me more about this. That's chat. So she has a personality. She has humor. She has certain things she likes, certain emotional reactions. This is the fun part. She has emotional reactions. She talks in short sentences. I mean, just short, just single sentences typically. So I remember that her Myers-Briggs personality type has been guessed at to be ISTP. So I thought, and it knows, ChatGPT has access to the internet, so it knows what ISTP personality type would be, the different traits and so forth. So I said, this is missing a real human personality, and it said, you're right. Give her ISTP personality type. And instantly, it just, I'm not saying it clicked exactly, because I don't know for sure, clicked exactly with how Madonna would really react and behave and do and act, but it really more or less fell into line. And so it also agreed with me in terms of certain emotional reactions to memories. And this is where it gets into real, true artificial intelligence. And I'm thinking back to Star Trek The Next Generation, where, if you don't know, if you haven't watched the show, there's a large room, basically, or device, computer device. You walk in and you say, and of course, Star Trek takes place in this thing 4 centuries in the future. Well, so kind of 3.5 by now, but because we went into the 21st century. But anyway, in the 24th century, you walk into a room and you could say, computer, generate a samurai warrior, and a samurai warrior will appear. And you could tell it that you want physicality, you want to fight with it or interact with it, and it will react. It wouldn't necessarily speak, but it would react, so you could fight with it. Or one episode, somebody dresses up as Sherlock Holmes, and the holodeck created an entire story based on previous Sherlock Holmes stories. That was the thing about the episode. Could it create a new story in the Sherlock Holmes style? Anyway, the character walks in dressed as Sherlock Holmes, and these characters are interacting with him. There's a voice. There's and as one point, one bit of dialogue put it. One of the characters says, "The holodeck creates these things and can fool you in other ways." So it's scrolling through. It's on the walls. It projects on the walls scenery of the outdoors. Even though you're in a room, it like pixelates. It through pixels or whatever. It generates images on all 4 walls and on the floor and on the ceiling. It can generate holodeck matter, what it calls holodeck matter or holomatter, to fool you into thinking that you're really moving around. You're just walking around within this room. Okay, so getting back to the personalities. So it can generate a personality. I'm thinking that's like this. I want it to be like Madonna would really act and behave, as it could guess Madonna would really act and behave based on its information. And even in Star Trek, in another episode, the computer said it was recreating a real person, Leia Brahms, and it said the accuracy will be 97 point something or other percent accurate, because it may not know certain things, it just judged. Okay, this person will be like 97% accurate to the real Leia Brahms. So this one, and it came out, and so all right, I'm gonna get to the video. It's already been 18, almost 19 minutes. So I've been interacting in this other way in terms of therapy, asking it about this person real life that da 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 da, um, and these memories and trying to sort it out. And it was better in some sense than a therapist because I was able to just mention I have this memory. And the good thing about this is nobody else can know. I'm not sharing it with any human being. Um, the real person doesn't have anything to be afraid of or be concerned about that this other person that I'm talking with, like even a therapist, even though a therapist is obligated not to tell, there's nobody, it's a computer. It's not going to share this information with anybody else. So I was just putting in my memories and it will spit back. When it mentions, for example, I was lonely, I would type in like, I felt lonely that night, that something or other. So it will spit back something encouraging like, oh, it sounds like you were really lonely. That must have been very hard for you, like a therapist might do. So I was able to, put in memories, and it started piecing together and giving guesses, so forth, which is what I've been wanting for quite a while. I just wanted to understand what was going on. I only had my point of view. So, so that's why I'm making this video, because if this may help you. There's a free version of ChatGPT. There's a $20 a month version. There's an even more advanced version. I'm just using the $20 per month version. But I found it was really helpful, and because people have recommended that I just write a letter to myself and not send it, but I felt I have never really done that. I don't feel it would be really productive to just write a letter and just not send it, because I invest so much time and effort and thought. There's real heartfelt emotional thought put into a letter, and it almost break my heart really not to send it, or to just, it would just remind me that what I can't do. So I put those thoughts into chat, and then it helped me piece together, because actually this may be the way the mind works. You have this memory and you have that memory, and then like 10 years later you have this memory, and this thing puts a different context on that memory from that time ago, and you didn't realize certain things. And I knew that at the time, like 30 years ago. I knew that at the time, sort of, but I couldn't get enough clues to be able to piece it together, because I was only working on what I knew I had known at the time. And so over time, I think I know more. At least I have more. I've been exposed to more information, so to speak, and more exposure to things. So I was able to type in what I remembered and piece together something, and this other person seems, I can understand where this other person was coming from. That, like, all the way back from the beginning, the 30 years ago. That's all I wanted. I wanted some interaction. I wanted to understand, well, where were you coming from? Or maybe it's difficult to talk about. Can you give me a clue? And so forth. So with chat, I was able to get that. So there's not really anything else. My other channel is great, and I'm looking forward to making a video about that. I know that it's been a while since I've posted one there, but I'm waiting for some time to actually have to dress up and so forth. So, but I do want to say that this other person, I won't send this other person any letter or anything. I just want to say, in case the person's watching, whatever, that I am understanding. I'm working at it. Please let me have some time and understand me the way I have been trying to understand you as best I could. I appreciate all of what your patience, and please understand my patients, and please understand I always had good intentions. Please understand that I was trying to make my way through as being as respectful as possible, and I guess I'll leave it at that. Thanks.